ever clicking this button or like looking like this, it means I'm looking at the timer
Mm-hmm.
questions.
Gotcha.
All right, I'll start it off. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my talk show. I'm your host, That One Rebel. This is my talk show, Late Night of Rebel, and we have our special guest here, TJ Dash. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing quite wonderful. How about you all doing?
I'm doing great. So, I have a bunch of questions for you that I've written down, and I wanted to ask you a bunch of them. And one of the first questions I wanted to ask was, How'd you get into VR chat initially? Like, how did you first start playing VR chat? Was it because of a YouTube video, a Twitch streamer? Did you randomly stumble upon this game? How did that all go?
My first experiences with going onto VR chat was actually I was sort of browsing around. My first experience ever with VR chat was like when Jacksepticeye and all the super big YouTubers made a video back in like 2018, whenever the whole Knuckles craze was going on.
Yeah.
I didn't get into VR chat myself until that later that year in October because that's when I got my first VR headset.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pretty much got started playing VR Chat because I was like, oh hey, there's this game that I wanted to play. It's free. I needed some VR Chat or VR games at the time
Oh,
because I was brand new at
hold on
VR,
one
and
second.
so I.
You're
Mm-hmm.
too short, I think.
Do you want me to change models?
Yeah, is he too short, guys? I can't see my own stream, by the way. So I think he might be too short for the camera.
Let me let me see if I can grab
Oh
a slightly
God.
bigger model. This one should be at least a foot taller. Yeah, that's just I'm a normally extremely short individual in the
Let me
game.
see what happens. Yeah, we can see you now. There you go. That's good. As you were
There we go.
saying.
So yeah, I got into the whole VR chat thing about late 2018. I was watching some clips from like VRFony, Foxy, Snizu, the three big clippers at the time, just of like streamers and stuff, and that's probably the thing that got me into it the most was just watching how other people had fun with the game,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there on, it was just I got into the game, started playing, found my friend group, and then now I'm here.
Okay. Do you know like what time frame that was?
From October 2018 to roughly now is the time that I've been playing VR chat. October 14th to be exact is when I first started the game up.
Okay, so like you're a more of a newer person than I thought you've been playing as long as I have back in like 2017.
Yeah, I didn't know about the game in 2017. I was debating about trying it out in like desktop mode for a while for VR chat, but I was like, I just forgot about it after the initial videos
Mm-hmm.
for a while, and then several months later I came back and was like, oh yeah, this is a game. I'm watching all these video clips of it now. I'm super addicted to just watching this. How about I join in now that I have a VR headset?
Okay. So how'd you get into like streaming yourself and like if you do YouTube as well? Like how'd you get into that like initially?
For streaming, I initially got into it because I was basically spending a lot of time just in the Twitch chats of like other named streamers, and after a while, people were like, "Hey, why don't you stream yourself?" Because I started appearing more and more as I became friends with all the other big streamers that I hang out with and watch. And then eventually, Fizzy was like, "Hey, why don't you start streaming?" And that's probably the straw that broke the camel's back. So a few weeks after that, a lot of people were like, "Stream, stream, stream." So one day, I fired up the stream, and I haven't looked back.
When did you start? Do you know like time frame wise? Like
January 3rd or 4th of this year. So I've only been streaming for about 2 or 3-ish months, roughly.
holy smokes. That's pretty short, man. It already got like what,
Yeah.
40 or 50 viewer average or something like that? Even higher?
Currently, if you look at my stream stats, it's currently about a 35 average. My audience tends to fluctuate a lot depending
Okay.
on who's on.
Dude, that's a lot, dude. When I first started streaming back, well, I streamed like 8 years ago, but let's just talk about VR chat because I didn't. That doesn't really
Hmm.
count 8 years ago because I streamed like once a year, so that doesn't really count. But when I first started streaming VR chat, I would get like 5 viewers for like I didn't get the viewers I have now until literally 4 months ago, until I started doing a talk show. So
Yeah,
it's that
my viewership.
grind. It's that grind.
Yeah, my viewership has always been like consistent. My very first stream, thanks to Fizzy advertising the fact that I went live because I was the moderator and he wanted to help me out. Because of him, he started me off with like 40 viewers my first stream. It was like, holy crap. I was not expecting that.
Damn. Damn. My first stream was like 1 viewer for like a year.
I've
I
had like I've had like one stream ever where I went into single digits, and that's just because everyone else was streaming at the time, and I was
Oh yeah.
even newer, like 2 weeks in. That's the only time I've ever been in single digit numbers.
Yeah, hold on here. I'm gonna fix myself. I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna sit in my bed. Whenever I sit in my chair, it's more comfortable when I sit in my chair, but like I lose tracking all the time, so it's really annoying. Whoops.
Yeah. I constantly, if I have to sit in a chair in full body, then I would recalibrate my body, put my tracker in front of me, and then sit back down. The whole
Well,
process.
for me, I just don't have the play space. Like I literally, my play space is the size of a bathroom stall. Like it's just there's no place. So I'm too close. If I put my chair where my bed is, I'll be fine. But I can't move my bed because it's on steel brackets. And let's just say I can't lift that shit. So
That's
anyway,
way too heavy, yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so are you having fun with streaming? Like are you having a blast? You know, did you expect what it would be like nowadays? You know, when you first started, only a couple months.
It's been a wild ride. I haven't like seriously been enjoying it. My
Okay.
streams sometimes they're up and down. You know, sometimes I got bad days. Sometimes I got awesome days. You know how it is. But 9 days out of 10, it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. You know, I enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, like that's the one thing I would tell a lot of people, just have fun with it. Just have a good time when you're streaming and whatever it is, either it's VR chat or drawing art or whatever you're doing, just have fun with it. For me, for the longest time, when I streamed, I didn't really have fun. Like I was playing a character, I was a completely different person. And then when I rebranded my whole channel and started doing what I wanted to do and eventually doing a talk show, I had a lot more fun. So just do what you want to do. Don't like stream to like don't stream faking a personality or like you know what I mean, like oh I'm gonna be a funny guy, haha, I'm gonna do this funny thing, and like don't do something that you don't enjoy. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. I did something I didn't enjoy for a very long time, and it just hurt myself.
Hmm.
Like I didn't enjoy pretending to be something I'm not. So that's my advice for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. My streams are typically me just running off of instinct. Like everything I say is just like, oh hey, this is the first funny thing you can think of off the top of my head. Let's say that. Like, this is my natural reaction to everything. I don't try to fake a character. I've never been one to be good at acting, so I just go whatever the hell. I just go with the flow, you know. Just whatever feels good at the time, I do.
Okay, I get you. That's what I would say. I mean, I've always like had some skill of role playing or like improv and stuff. So for me, it comes natural in VRChat. Like I can put on accents and like play different characters, but I don't really do it too often anymore. Maybe for a role play or something, but not for like my regular stream. I want people to watch for me. I don't want people to watch because I'm playing a persona or fake character. Like it's not worth in the end. Maybe some people can survive doing that every day, but it wasn't for me. So that's what my advice would be. Anyway, so as you played VRChat, and obviously you have your own like I guess personality and your own avatar, your OC. Do you have one, and like how does it represent you as a person, and your channel and your brand?
So currently I'm still technically working on getting like a final idea of what I want. I've just got like alpha for the moment because I was usually just sticking to public models.
Yep.
I was able to find a public model for my entire time that I enjoyed, but now I'm
Mhm.
trying to get my own custom thing.
Mhm.
That's basically what I'm going for is what my emote looks like. My whole red shirt, or red jacket, black undershirt,
Mhm.
fancy colored hair. That's sort of what I want for like a proper avatar to look after for a while for like the first version. But yeah, my main struggle is that I'm just wanting to be able to build up my own character usually.
Okay.
My own personal avatar is the one thing.
Do you have a backstory for your character or anything like that?
Nah, I don't really have a backstory. As far as I'm aware, I just found something that I liked because I thought it looked cool and was cuter. You know how it is. I just enjoyed how it looked, and that's why I rolled with it. I don't really have a backstory for anything. It's really just a way to represent me in my own brain.
Okay. I just wanted to ask because some people have like deep like lore reasons for like why they do stuff. Like for me, uh, my character, my name is That One Rebel, so I wanted to do something that's a little bit more different than everybody else. Not just by playing a female avatar, but by the way I dress, the way I do things. Like I made my first outfit was like a biker chick. Like you don't see that really in VR chat. Like a tough, tall biker chick that looks like she can beat your ass. Like that's I don't know. It's just the way I am. I always wanted to do something that's a little different compared to everybody else. I didn't want to be like part of the social norm. I wanted to stand out. So I try to do
Yeah.
unorthodox things when I stream and try to do stuff that's not everyone else is doing, like doing a talk show, right? So
Yeah, these are definitely rare in VR chat.
exactly. I mean, I just like doing other things that, because I don't want to do everything. I don't want to like copy people and be like, wow, let's do this thing because everybody's gonna watch it because they like memes. I'm like, that's not me. I like to do my own thing, and a lot of people, recognize me for that. So anyway.
Hmm.
So, when you stream, what do you like to do? Like, do you like just to hang out with people, or do you have a set schedule, or any ideas of like for the future, like doing a subathon, or do you just stream and have fun with your friends? Like, what's an average day for you in VR
So
chat?
an average day for me, I do have a schedule that I've trying to keep to, where it's mostly just times, but basically I don't even plan anything. I just load up a stream, hit start stream, get everything ready to go, and it's like, okay, let's figure out where the gravy train of today is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
No plans, no nothing. See who's on, see who's not on, and then just basically try to hang out, play the game as I would normally do, and just be a meme lord. That's what I try to do as much as I possibly can.
A meme lord, you say, huh?
Yeah, I'm a big. I like memes a lot.
Oh yeah, do you
So
make your own
basically,
memes?
um, not too terribly often here and there. I could if I wanted to, but sometimes I just focus on other things usually.
Okay, what kind of memes though? Like, what do you mean by memes? Do you mean like using like Ricardo Flick and stuff? Like, what do you mean?
By memes, I usually just like to repeat different like funny lines and stuff, like the Gandalf lines. I've repeated lines from like Yoda, just anything and anything and everything that you would consider like a popular meme these days is what I would just do.
Okay.
And I've technically got a couple of my own memes as a result of my Discord. They've started to spam war in the chat. That's
War.
yeah, that's one meme that was birthed from my Discord. Blum is another one. A lot of my memes from my Discord tend to be misspellings made popular because someone made a pun off of them. And that's basically how that grows. Like the war, for example, that was birthed because a friend of mine was saying what. He's trying to spell what, W-O-T. He said war a couple of times because of autocorrect, and then another friend who's in chat, Lafau, said war has begun, and that's literally what set off that whole meme. It's
Damn.
gotten so popular that I made an avatar, an emote off of it.
Nice.
Now everywhere I go, people spam war.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know. I don't know if I have any memes in my channel. I'm just trying to think. Like I don't know. I just say random stuff. Like I just like thick thighs save lies, thigh highs are my demise. Like I don't know. I just interview people. I don't really have any memes. I got a booty emote. Like what? I got no jokes. I don't know. I just tell my stories, tell my life. I don't know.
Yeah, my strategy, I'm just really just a jokester. I just say that whatever I think is funniest at the time, I just roll with it. No regrets, no shame. I'm here to entertain. I'm here to make people laugh. And at the end of the day, if people are posting lol emotes, then I'm happy.
Oh yeah. I guess I have some memes. The ASMR meme. That's technically a meme in my channel. It's because I have to whisper at night because my parents are sleeping. And so I have to like
Hmm.
ASMR. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, I have to like literally become ASMR streamer. So I guess that's like a meme. Anyway, what's your expectations for VR chat in 2020?
My expectations for VR chat in 2020 would hopefully to be at least stagnant at bare minimum. I'm hoping for the community and the game to grow, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely hope that we can get increased security and make public worlds a lot safer for just anyone in general. That's my hope.
Yeah.
I'm crossing my fingers that at least something can happen on that front. I trust the devs that they can deliver at least something in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, generally, increased security for like public worlds, making it harder to be able to find people online and DDoS them, steal their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the main biggest deterrence that people would have is just making it harder to be a malicious person in game. That's what I really hope is where we can go so that VRChat can start growing again.
Okay. What's a funny moment in VRChat that you remember, or embarrassing moment that you remember in VRChat, if you have any stories?
Oh, I have the best moment that happened literally yesterday. Hey, chat, for anyone who was around for yesterday's stream or for participating in it, you guys remember Galosa? That's the new thing. We found an avatar in like a JoJo world. It was like a schoolgirl model, but it was super stuffed, like the head and the body, like the torso, are like combined with each other, and it
Yeah.
would have this weird animation. It would play a song that would just spam Golosa, Golosa. And basically, we spent some time raiding public worlds with it, and the first time we did it, I just saw everyone loading in, and I just started dying laughing. I could not hold in. I physically could not just stop laughing. It was the stupidest, funniest thing I've done in a long time. If we could pull up a clip, I would, but it's up to you on that front.
Well, I'd have to like set it up. I'm not really
Yeah, that's
done
fine.
clips on my channel, but maybe
That's
in the
fine,
future.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, chat's spamming it. I get you.
Yeah, they know Galosa.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the first thing you ever did when you went into VR for the first time? Like the very first, like you put on the headset, and then what was the first thing that you first did? Like you're just like, whoa, like arms, I can move them. You know what I mean? Like what?
My first experience ever was the Oculus Rift demo. It was like in the small room. You had like different tapes and things, and you could do different things like shoot
Yeah.
a gun, like target practice. You know, the robot game.
Uh-huh.
That was my first ever real experience with VR. I actually got into VR as a result of a class I took in college where we were learning about VR and AR, and so we built a VR lab. So we had a VR racing sort of table thing. It was like an arcade cabinet for like a racing game, but you put it on like a VR headset and you were able to drive a racing game in VR. Um, that was one of my first experiences as well. There's one other experience where it was like you were in a boat the entire time. You basically went through this sort of mini adventure. We did like a couple of horror games as a part of that class. Sort of experienced like Google Earth. And instead of VRChat, we did Rec Room in that class because VRChat simply, the community is just not as good. I will have to say, a lot more people like to drop the gamer words and curse words that school wouldn't approve of, as opposed to Rec Room, which is a lot more friendly in that
Yeah.
regard. So I didn't get to really play VRChat in that class, but we did get to play like Rec Room. It's quite funny. We did communicate with people in Rec Room on occasion. We just hop on the mic and was like, hey, we've got a class here. Congratulations, you're gonna help us explore Rec Room because you're in the lobby with us. It was quite fun.
Interesting. Yeah, it sucks about you didn't really get to explore VRChat until much later. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is, I guess. Like that's just the way the community is for a long time. Just sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even back in late 2018, that's how it was.
What was the first thing you did in VRChat though? Like you said VR, but like what about VRChat? The first time you like put on the headset for VRChat, like you remember that?
I believe I do. The first world I ever really went to, besides any of the starting worlds, like the home world,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say it was the presentation room was the first world to my knowledge, and I think I actually met Mimi VR there, our resident sleep streamer of the community.
Oh
I'm pretty
yes.
sure I met Mimi there. And so I was basically there. I just spent the first couple of months mute because I was kind of feeling really, really awkward, just exploring everything. So I was just like, I don't feel comfortable talking just yet. So I spent some time not talking, just trying to get used to VR. Especially since at that time, like 5 minutes of VR and I have to throw the headset off because I feel nauseous and dizzy. I hadn't gotten
Oh,
over VR
damn.
sickness just yet. So it took me a couple of weeks of just, alright, I was like, alright, I need to go in here every single day. I just need to push through it. It will get better over time. I just need to get as much exposure in as possible so my brain can get used to it. And after some time, I was able to get used to it. And so, basically just meeting people in public worlds was my first experience. I actually had quite a nice experience with Public Worlds. Unlike today, back
Yep.
then, at least in my experiences, a lot of Public Worlds I went to had a lot of nice people, and were like,
Yep.
"Hey, this is your first day on VR chat. This is your second day on VR chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome." And so I felt really good that people were open to new people at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And like this was right as like the trust system was put into place.
Yep.
I think if I joined like a week or two earlier, it would have had the old like green usernames instead of the current username system we have now. So I think that's right around whenever I first started playing.
Okay. Yeah, if you played a little bit early, yeah, you would have had the old usernames and everything. And I've always said that, like, I get it that the safety settings are important and it does, like, improve, experience in publics and, around lobbies and where you don't know anybody and you don't know who to trust and you can turn off shaders and stuff. I just never agreed with, like, the whole color coordination with it because, like, it just makes it super obvious. It's like, oh, that person's a new user. Like, why would I talk to someone who's been playing the game for 5 minutes? Or, like, oh, this person's a trusted, so I can hang with them. And, like, it's so, like, you can go to like any like public world or whatever. You can see like anybody that's next to the mirror. They're all trusted people. If they're like someone who just like got VR for the first time, they're all like running around not at the mirror. It's like the more you play, you eventually just go to a mirror. Like eventually, like when you rank up, like I wish
Playtime equals correlation to the mirror.
Yeah. So I feel like if VR chat, if they just removed the color from the ranks, I think it would be okay because it makes people super elitist. They're like, oh, you're not a trusted user, I'm not going to talk to you. But like if there was no color, then people wouldn't care, right? They're like, oh, you're not a purple user, you're not a green user like me. So it's just like, okay, because it makes it super obvious, like, oh, I'm going to block you because you literally started playing the game. I'm not going to talk to someone who doesn't even know how to play, right?
I hear you. And I've actually had a few instances in Public Worlds where I've had like the exact opposite, where I've had my purple rank displayed, and it's like these green users were up, like, oh, this guy's a trusted user. Let's start insulting him because he's a noob, or not a noob. He's a no lifer. He plays this game all day, every day. And so it's like sometimes I just go in there to like Public World if I have to. I just hit the hide my rank button, and just because the majority of people are in like the green color, I just stay in the earlier colors. So I've had times where it's like, I've also had times where it's like, because I've hidden my rank, it's like, oh hey, this guy's a green user like us. He's not like one of those filthy purple users, It's like, I'm so glad I had that hidden at the time. And like the moment they left, like, hey, you're cool because you're a green user. Let's go through this portal. The moment those two dudes went through the portal, I flipped my purple rank on. It's like, sucker. Unintentional debate. It was just quite funny at the time.
Damn, dude. To me, I have pretty thick skin, man. I've been playing online games for more than half my life. I used to play Halo and Call of Duty on Xbox. So, like, anything that anyone says in VR chat is, like, not even comparable to what I've heard 10 years ago when I was growing up as a kid. So I never, like, for me, when someone's going to, like, discriminate against, like, my avatar or, like, the way I look or, like, oh, you're a trusted user or whatever, I don't really care. I can literally, like, knock them down a couple pegs if I really wanted to. It's really easy for me. Maybe it's because I'm just used to, like, talking back to people, but I could do it. I can understand, though, that not everybody in VR chat's like me, and, not everyone's social and has a lot of anxiety and stuff like that, but I don't run into too many issues. Most of the time when I go to Publix, if I ever do, and I usually do it off stream, most of the people just try and hit on me, and that's for obvious reasons, but it's kind of funny, because, like, I won't talk for a minute, they're like, damn, girl, you thick as hell, and then I like, yo, what's up? And they're like, oh, God, I'm not gay. I'm like, yeah, what happened a minute ago, bud? So it's kind of funny when people try and hit on you.
Yeah, I've had similar occurrences in the past as well. Like, during my mute days, people would always think that I was a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, if they asked me directly, I'd nod my head no. Like, no, not a girl. I have a pee-pee. I'm not a female.
Oh, really?
Please don't think of me. I had unintentionally trapped so many people just because I was too damn shy to talk on my microphone.
Okay.
It was crazy. And I was running around at the time. I was running on, it's like the subcom netcos too. So
Oh, yeah. Unintentional, dude. Unintentional. Trying to trap people, huh? I see how it is, bro.
Unintentionally.
I mean, it is what it is, man. Um, what advice would you give to someone wanting to become a content creator?
I'd say just click live, just start doing it basically.
Click it,
That's what
dude.
I had to do.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. That's one thing that I'd say. If you want to try being a content creator, just hit the live button and give it your best.
Mhm.
Take some start streaming and then
Yeah.
at the same time off stream just
Mhm.
look up YouTube videos, see how to do different things, ask people who can do things.
Mhm.
And of course just if you can, just try to make connections with people who already know and are already doing this kind of stuff and seeing if they can help you. That's sort of what I did. Ironically, that's probably the reason why I've gotten the audience that I did right off the gate, because I spent like 6, 7, 8 months in like all these famous streamers' chats, and then eventually I started meeting them and hanging out with them on stream. People started to get to know me, get to see who I was.
Yeah.
They'd see that I could be a funny guy, that I was a cool guy, chill guy, anything they'd like. And a lot of people started to, really appreciate who I was. And then those same people who started appreciating me was like, hey, why don't you start streaming yourself? And then a lot of those guys who pursued that idea stuck around this long.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's probably what happened to me.
I get you. So how many people do you mod for then? Or do you still do that?
Yeah, I mod for 3 people. I mod for Fur Trap, Is This Real VR, and Hotless VR. So yeah, all those people are 100 plus viewers each.
100 plus viewer Andes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How'd you go about like becoming a mod? Was it just you're just active in their channels, or like what'd you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, my first experience with modding,
Mhm.
for any channel that wasn't, like 2 viewers, where it's just like a friend of mine made me a mod in his channel some time ago.
Thanks for the
Just because he was
tokens.
my friend. He only
That's...
gets like 2 viewers though,
Oh.
unfortunately.
I've been here
But my
about.
first real
I
experience
met
was
a
with
TJ
Fizzy.
underscore dash with
I
streams
basically got
from
to
at
know
that high
Fizzy
five.
really early on.
I got to
and
know
started
him, and
hanging out with
frankly,
him a
he's a
bunch.
really nice
He
guy.
trusted me enough to
I'm
make
one
me
of
his
those who was
moderator,
there
and from
when he
there I
started
gained experience
streaming
in
and when he
moderating.
launched his Discord
Then
server. He
afterwards,
can always count on
Hotless
me.
got in contact with me
Hashtag
whenever she
Millie
started to blow
Patty I
up,
high.
because everyone's heard good things from me, moderation-wise from Fizzy. So the moment she started getting big, she took me on board as a moderator. And
Okay.
then later on, I was hanging out in Reel's chat. She realized who I was from Fizzy's end, and then she modded me there as like a joke, just to tease a friend of ours, New Dory.
Mhm.
And then later on, I was like, hey, you think I could make this moderation thing more serious? And she was on board with it. And so she made me more of an official mod for her Discord and Twitch then. And I've been modding for all 3 of them ever since.
Okay. So I got a notification halfway through that, but I understood what you're saying. I get you.
Mhm.
I'm actually going to be interviewing Is This Real on Wednesday, so tune in for
Heck
that.
yeah.
Heck yeah. Anyway, excuse me. Next question. Excuse me. What makes you feel inspired or like what feels inspired to like stream and do what you love in VR chat?
Honestly, the chat more than anything is what makes me feel inspired. I just love coming on every single day. I see people, I do something funny, and I just look at my hand to read chat, and I just see the reactions, and like being able to just bounce off of them, laugh with them.
Mhm.
That's the main thing that I care about. I don't really give a crap about any money that I make. Sure, it's nice, but at the end of the day, I want to grow just so I have more people to talk to and hang out with on stream. That's what matters to me more than anything right now, is just being able to chat with people while playing video games that I love and doing what I love.
Okay, I get that. I feel the same way. I stream because I want to, because I want to, entertain people, and I run a talk show, so I get the story of different people, different perspectives on different people. Like I said, you don't have to be a streamer to be on this talk show. By the way, very big misconception. People think you have to be a streamer. You don't. I stream people that don't even stream, or like, I've interviewed people that like do music, who dance, who make worlds, memes, and stuff. So as long as you have something interesting to talk about, then you can be on this talk show. Anyway, what is something you wish you had known when you first started VR chat? So what I mean by that is like back then when you were like a noob and you first start playing VR chat, what's something you wish you knew back then that you know now? If that makes sense.
I'd probably say I wish I knew more about like what to look out for, because back whenever I was like a new user, like brand new to the game. I literally had no experience with any like the whole crashing, like hacking that was going on. You know, a
Mhm.
lot of the toxicity of the game, it just didn't register with me. Like I would go through with no safety settings on in the slightest, and even though I never had any problems with it at the time, probably
Mhm.
because I was in lobbies that no one really cared to crash. It was still like, oh hey, there's this aspect of VR chat where there's a lot of people online where they can access your stuff really easily, and you need to be careful, and you need to do this, this, and this to make sure that A, you're not crashed out of the game, B,
Mhm.
your stuff is not stolen, C, your IP isn't leaked, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, VR chat, unfortunately, is like a really big security hole that
Yep.
a lot of people know how to exploit really easily.
Yeah.
And it literally just, it takes like a download of like a bad client that VR chat may or may not know about, and
Mhm.
boom, your IP's just bled all over the place, like,
Yeah.
with no rhyme or reason. I
Yeah.
had that happen a few months ago. My first ever DDoS was from VR chat. I was playing Murder 3 in like a public lobby, you know, minding my own business. That dude got salty because I wouldn't give him the gun because I got all 5 blues and the dude DDoSed me. Literally DDoSed me. I was
Oh
lucky
my
that a friend of
god.
mine was streaming at the time and he caught the whole thing. So I sent the clips that I made into VR chat to moderation support, and hopefully the guy is not playing VR chat now because that was quite a scummy move to do.
Mm. I
And of
getcha.
course, probably the biggest thing to note if you're new to VR chat is like if you see a bunch of portals dropping down, never click W or go forward. Just always run backwards or press S because chances are those are crasher portals and you can't walk through portals if you're going backwards. VR chat, please never change that feature. It's the most useful feature in the world to protect yourself.
Well, actually, there's a better feature than that. If you go to your settings, if you there's a button called what's it? Skip go button in load. If you uncheck that, that means that every time you go into a portal, you have to actually press go to actually go into the world. So what I mean by that,
Yeah,
it'll download the world, but you won't actually go into it until you say yes, go. So if you accidentally go into a portal you don't want to, you can just always press the go return home button, and then that's how you avoid
yeah,
getting crashed as well. So
yeah. That button, I've made sure to enable that feature as well.
yeah, a lot of
That's one
people
thing I
don't.
forgot to mention.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a big one to enable.
yeah, man. People DDoSing over not getting a gun. That's how pathetic some people are, man.
Yeah, it's crazy what people like to do.
How about
But we live in a
the
crazy world.
so no one can spawn 10 portals? I mean, just the way it is, man. Just the way it is. Anyway,
Unfortunately, if they figure out a way to patch that, then they're probably
yeah.
just going to go through and find a different loophole to do the same thing.
Mhm.
That's what hackers do, man. You close up one loophole, another one opens up somewhere else, and it's just the cycle of life with technology.
Mhm. What is something you miss about the old VR chat, or like when you first started playing, or when you watch videos and stuff? Like, what's something you miss like back in the old days? Like either when you first started playing or when you watch other people play.
I kind of miss just the feeling of like the game feeling new. Like, you know how
Mhm.
every single game you play, like it feels new, it feels exciting, and then you get used to it, and it's just like, where did that charm go? It's still fun to play, but there just loses a lot of charm, which every video game struggles with. Like the moment you get used to the game, you experience it, like it loses the charm.
Yeah.
Um, for me, it was sort of, I was like, oh, holy crap, I can play this Warhammer character one moment, and then I can go to this tiny lolly the next, 'cause that's what I used to do. I used to
Uh-huh.
play as like that fox lolly with like the white hood and stuff, and like a Warhammer character as well. That's sort of like my first avatars, sort of opposite ends of the size spectrum. And of course, just getting used to the controls, figuring out how to play the game. I remember like those models, like I couldn't figure out how to do anything really on them. It was sort of just like, oh hey, the presentation plus, like presentation room. This is brand new. I'm not used to seeing this. Oh
Mhm.
hey, the great pug. I'm not used to seeing this. You know, I just miss everything feeling new. That's sort of what I really want back. And trying to explore brand new worlds that are unique and different than anything else is sort of the best thing that we can do these days for veteran players to get that kind of feeling of newness back. That's
Mhm.
everything just feels like VR at the end of the day now. You've got an expectation of what the game feels like after 1,000, 2,000 hours in it. You know.
Yeah. I hear you, Sam. What's one thing when Udon comes out or Unity 2018 comes out? Like, what's one thing you expect? Like, you want something to be made into the game, especially with Udon coming out. So that means you can make a lot better worlds and game modes. So like, what's something you want
Hmm.
to be added to VR chat in terms of like a world?
Well, a few things that I would like to be able to add in, especially for massive maps, because there's some maps that are, sizes of like cities and stuff,
Yeah.
metaphorically speaking, where it
Mhm.
takes like 20 minutes to go from one person to another. And
Yeah.
I've seen this on some worlds, like being able to teleport to where your friends are. So
Mhm.
instead of like, this is like one giant field, like map that's like a giant forest that I can't find anyone on. It's extremely massive, and you can hold like 20 people in it, and it takes sometimes like a half hour to find your friends. Being able to like teleport to your friends would be a fun thing to do. Having save states so you can sort of like save an instance where it is and come back to it. Sort of like being able to play an RPG, hitting the save button, being able to load up that save file again. That'd be pretty nice. Being able to do more complex animations and interactions. So instead of like say Lakuza's world where you have that first boss fight where all you can do is basically run the sword up to predetermined points
Yeah.
on the body, being able to like slash your weapon and being able to do different damages depending on the kind of weapon and where you hit them and how hard you hit them would be kind of nice. I don't obviously expect every little detail about that to come because I think regular game developers like AAA would probably struggle to do that same kind of thing. But just being able to have more interactivity, being able to just overall do more things, having a wider variety of worlds that could be built would be something that I'd be looking forward to.
What I would like, I like the ideas you had. But what I would like is persistence world. So what he means by that is like, let's say there was like an RP world where I got money and I got like 500 like in
Hmm.
world dollars or something like that. If I left the world and it came back the next day, I still have that money saved on my account or whatever. That's what I mean by persistent worlds, because that way you can have progression. You can like, oh, I can work up and like work into this world and like get more money and then buy a car or something. I don't know, or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So it creates more in-depth roleplay. Because right now, like you leave the world, you come back, everything resets. So there's no persistent worlds. So I like to have
And
persistent worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, and sort of like a way for that, you'd have to have like a check sheet of like, okay, here's where I was previously in the world. I have this, this, this. I
Yeah.
need to go do this, instead of it just being something available. That would be nice to have a persistent world. Like worlds where you could have like day-night cycles be affected maybe even by the real world time. Like say you go to the Great Pug, but you can have a day-night cycle, and all of a sudden with the new system where
Yeah.
it's like 5 p.m. your time, it's going to look like afternoon, evening, or if it's like 2 a.m., it's going to be pitch black outside.
Mhm.
That'd be kind of nice to see as well.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, having like day and night cycles. There's only a few worlds that have it, and of the worlds that have a day and night cycle, it's pretty taxing on the world and like your computer because it has to like render like a whole like cycle going on. So it's
Hmm.
it's like all shaders and stuff. It's really taxing. But if it wasn't so like laggy and stuff, I would definitely be go. It'd be cool, right? Because like you see the stars and then it's like morning and then evening and stuff. It's
Hmm.
like what's that game? It's like World of Warcraft. I think World of Warcraft was the first game I ever played that had something like that, where it, depending on where you're from, it would actually like be nighttime. It would be morning, and then as you play along, you know what I mean? Like it just it's like nighttime, and I'm playing at night, so it's all nighttime in the game. It gets a little spooky out.
I hear
So
you.
yeah. So yeah. One more question I have for you.
Hmm.
What are you grateful for?
For VR chat, I'd say I'd be grateful for the friends that I've made, the memories I've been able to make. I've been very fortunate in to say that I can make a lot of people who I've really enjoyed spending my time with.
Mm-hmm.
Streamers and non-streamers. I've gotten a lot of good friends from that.
Yeah.
Just a lot of good memories I'm able to do, and a lot of people who hang out with me in my chat also tend to hang out with me on stream a lot these days. So
Yeah.
I can always have like a reliable group of people to always just chill with and do stuff. And I've always bounced around like a few groups here and there. Um, Even streamers, non-streamers, like I tend to bounce around like Sean's group, Fizzy's group, Patty's group of people that hang around him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So just the wide variety of people I've been able to meet and hang out with and just enjoy life with. That's sort of what I'm grateful for. It's just the
Okay.
people I've met.
That's awesome. So we're coming up into like the 40-minute mark of this interview. What I would like to do is start taking questions from the chat. So if anyone has any questions for TJ or I, just ask them away in the chat, and I'll read them out. So if anyone has any questions for I, or if you have questions for me, I can also answer as well.
Yeah, if I come up with any questions, I'll definitely let you know.
I see a lot of Laxi subs in here, a lot of Laxi emotes.
Yeah, I got a lot of Laxi addicts.
Well, we all know what we're gonna ask the question. It's gonna be nothing but memes. Okay, sure. I mean, I always get backup questions. Don't worry. I've been doing 123 interviews. I think I know what I'm doing. What kind of VR setup do you have?
I have the HTC Vive with the full body tracking.
Okay.
And I've also got an Oculus Rift as well that I purchased before my Vive.
Is it the
So I've got both
original
of them.
Vive?
Yeah, the original. Yeah, original Vive, original Rift.
Okay. Is it wireless? Do you have like the wireless adapter?
Unfortunately, I do not. But at this point in time, I don't plan on purchasing the wireless just because the Vive is too old for me to really want to invest more money in. If I were to upgrade
Okay.
my headset, it'd probably go with the Index for sure.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got the Index. So I got the Index and I got full body. Got the Vive trackers. But yeah, that's what I've got. Basically, the currently best setup you can get. Or I mean, the only other good setup is like the Vive original with the wireless, because you can't get the wireless on the Pro, but you can get the Vive Pro with the eye tracking in it, which is like kind of cool. But it doesn't work in VR chat.
that'd
It
be
works
pretty
in
nuts.
it works in other games and other programs. There's some cool stuff. And I got the controller so I can move my fingers. But yeah. From Signal, how does it feel to be famous, TJ?
I'm not famous Signal. That's another meme that's been going around for a very long time because people got used to me just hanging out in chats. I basically, anytime I say hi, I just get a wall of replies like, "Hey, TJ, hello, hello, hello."
Damn,
and so
dude.
now people start calling me famous just because they see me everywhere in different chats and stuff because I like to hang out on Twitch a lot. So
For
that's where that comes from.
for TJ, who are some of the non-streamers who are cool to hang around with? That's what Cool SWAT said.
Cool SWAT's fun to hang around with. LaFell, Snipper, Signal, Mike Cream, 90, both a lot of good friends. Dudester. Let's see here. I got a few of them in my friends lists. I tend to hang around with, let's see, no, those are streamers. Who doesn't stream on my friend list? A lot of people tend to stream, but they're, like, small like me, if not smaller. I guess I got a couple of my soundboard friends who are like the soundboard NECA groups, like Ben Gorth, B-Tech's good friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after realizing and looking at my list, a lot more people stream than I thought they would. A lot more
Damn,
people
dude.
stream on my friends list that I hang out than I initially thought upon actually thinking about it. I
Okay.
got another friend called Cotton who I don't know if streams or not. Lamalad, I know you do stream, but not every day. Yeah, just a lot of people, you know. Most of the people who tend to hang out with me that don't stream are on that list.
Okay.
So yeah. You learn that a lot more people stream than what you initially think upon.
Yeah. Oh, I said something wrong here. Apparently, the Vive Pro can have virus. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the original one. Oh, whatever.
I think Fizz uses the Vive Pro at this point with wireless.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Anyway, because I don't have a Vive Pro, I just have Index. A question I saw from one of my mods was, what's some tips for like a new chat moderator? Like, what's some tips for people to be a mod in people's chats?
Generally, get a hold of the existing mods and ask them like, hey, what is like what is the gray area? What is, you know, completely acceptable in this chat? What is not acceptable under any circumstances? And studying the Twitch terms of service as well would be the biggest thing. So basically, like, no gamer words, no racism, no homophobia, none of that stuff. Basically,
Yeah.
if you see anything like that you can say is like intentionally meant to be harmful, like after a while you start learning, hey, that's gonna be bad, clap that. And if they drop the N-word, then clap that immediately. Ban
Yeah.
them on site, because quite frankly, if you want to drop the gamer word, then you don't need to be in the chat in general. That's sort of my motto. Like, if you try to see someone who's trying to do sexual harassment in that way, clap them immediately. Like it takes a little bit to get used to. It took me a couple of weeks before I was, comfortable doing Twitch moderation stuff. Yeah, just ask around like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
like every channel will have something different. The 3 chats I moderate all have different rules and stuff, but there's a lot of similarities, like, the whole no racism,
Yeah.
homophobia, make sure chat's a friendly place for everyone. Um, just making sure that there's no like fighting between members of the chat. If people start getting mad at them, that's like if person A starts getting mad and yelling at person B, or like a fight kind of breaks out, a verbal fight breaks out in chat, then to just add the both of them, say, hey, I see what you're doing, stop it, I'm gonna clap you. I've had to deal with that in the past.
Damn.
Yeah. And if someone posts like ASCII art, my general model is clap it no matter what it is, because I've seen ASCII art of like penises and boobs, and it's just like, that's not cool. Don't want that. Just get rid of it. It's, if you think it's TOS, then it probably is after a while.
Yeah.
Just don't show butts, don't show, private parts, don't say bad words like the 4-letter R word, the 3-letter F word. I'm pretty sure everyone here is an adult and who knows what that means. What I'm replacing those as.
Yeah.
Basically, just making sure that you're up to date on Twitch's terms of service and what is and is not appropriate, and getting with your individual streamer and other moderators and figuring out what is and is not appropriate is what I'd recommend doing.
Yeah, I agree. You basically summed it up, honestly. Just terms of service. Ask like the person who you're modding for, like what their rules are, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's pretty common sense, right? The only thing where it might be like a little bit like difficult is like if people like are arguing, or if they're trolling, and, like asking really weird questions, and you're just like should I time that out? Like that's like the only
Yeah.
time. It's pretty, most of the time it's usually black and white with like judgment. So
hmm Even though there's a lot of black and white things out there for judgment, I still question every single day. Every time, like I see a bunch of messages every single day where it's like, should I clap that? Should I not clap that?
yeah.
How long do I clap this for? Is it like a mod infringement where I just need to delete it and tell the person, hey, don't do this? Or is it like their 4th infringement doing the same thing after being told a million times to stop doing it, and I have to clap them for like 10 minutes just to show that I'm being serious? Or is it like something that wouldn't necessarily be ban worthy, but because it just keeps going on and on and on, that you eventually just have to ban the person in order just to get it to stop. It's a lot of things where it's just like you just gotta be able to just adapt on the fly.
Mm-hmm. I hear you saying. Again, if anybody else has any questions for both of us, let us know. For TJ, how do you approach creating a decent stream schedule / stream setup?
For stream schedule, I sort of just went through. I didn't really have a steady schedule until recently.
Yeah.
But ever since, I've just trying to make like, hey, this is the time that I need to stream, so I'm just trying to block that time out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I try to do like 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like during the weekdays, and like 2 p.m. on the weekends, just to give more people a chance to view me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to set up the schedule like, okay, I need to stream at this point, and just like try to drop everything that I can, if I can at the time, if real life stuff comes first.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise I just go through, fire up the stream button at that time, and I just kind of put it in my head, just like make it a routine, make it a habit to do it at that point. Especially whenever I first started out streaming, I'd go like stream a day, take a couple days off, stream again for like 1 or 2 days, and then take a few days off. It was very unstable, my stream initially, but then after I started forcing myself to like, okay, I will stream on these days, I started streaming on those days, and then it took me some time. Like I would bounce around my hours on those days, like from like 5 to 7 o'clock is when I'd start, roughly. And then I started like, okay, I will stream at these specific times, and so I've just been narrowing down my ability to stream and just like, okay, I've got an idea when I want to stream. I'm going to be live right around this time. I try to be, give or take 5-10 minutes. How things can be. I try not to be anything more than like if I say I'm gonna stream at like 5 p.m., I try to stream within 5 to 6 p.m. every single time, regardless of what happens, if possible. For like a stream setup, I don't even have a good stream setup. Honestly, I'm still too new at this to know what a good stream setup is for me.
Okay.
But basically, when it comes to just everything, I just went through Streamlabs, Stream Elements, took like a few aspects that I wanted, like the recent follower sub, like the recent alert notifications.
Yeah.
I still want to add more. Like I need a BRB screen, an ending screen. I need to improve on my starting soon screen. Those are all going to be hand designed by me. I'm not the best in the world, so that's
Yeah.
really going to start off looking rough. But
Mhm.
it's going to be a good first place for me. But overall, just try to get yourself on anything you can use initially, and later on, basically improve your setup. Like I started off with like a $50 microphone, which is what I'm using now. It's got a boom mic and like a condenser mic, and I use like a mod mic wireless for my VR stuff.
Yeah.
And so, I'm basically just trying to learn how to do more things to just overall improve my stream schedule and my stream setup. That's sort of what I'm trying to do at the moment.
Okay. I got an interesting question here from Cool Swy. He says, for TJ, without naming names, who is the best mod and who is the worst mod? Question mark.
Let's see. A genuine question. Who is the best mod? Well, of course, that always depends on the stream. Like, it's gonna be different for like Fizzy's stream as opposed to like Laxy's streams, or your stream's gonna have a different set of it. But
Yeah.
I know that you're referencing Cool Slot. I know you want me to say no one is best mod for the meme, but again, that really just depends on, or for you meant for your stream. But I know you just wanted to go with that joke there, Cool Slot. For my streams,
Yeah, without naming
I don't really
anyone.
know.
Just say,
Without naming anyone, exactly. I think all mods are best mods. Just to summarize
Oh,
it
damn.
down, like
nice.
if you're there and you're like active and you're doing stuff in the chat, then you're like best mod. But if you're, missing like every single stream, you're like you see the go live button but you don't go there. The only people who aren't good mods really are the ones who just don't show up and just don't do anything whenever things need to be done. Otherwise everyone's best mod.
Okay. Johnny says, for TJ, what is your ultimate goal to achieve for your current level of success as a streamer?
I say my ultimate goal would just be partner, just so I can provide more emotes and make the subscription people pay for more worthwhile. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I really want partners, just to make it more worthwhile for people who choose to sub to me. But overall, I just want to be able to just grow, just to get a more active chat. That's all I really want. Just more people in chat to talk with, more people to interact with, more people to entertain. That would be my ultimate goal for streaming as is right now. Just basically be an entertainer and just
Mm-hmm.
earn my way to people who want to come by on their own volition and watch and do whatever they want to on their own volition,
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Again, any more questions? If not, do you have any questions for me?
Let's see here. I'd say, what would some things that you'd say would be what would you say you'd have to do like off stream to help like improve it? Because that's one of my big issues, is that I've got a stream where I am now, but I just struggle to learn how to get better at it. Like I don't know
Streaming?
how to
Like how
really,
to
yeah, streaming.
do?
You
What
know.
what I do off stream is a lot of social media stuff. So like, Twitter, I would say is the number one I use. I don't really use Instagram or any other stuff, but you can. It always helps you out. Branching out. Discord's another one. Really like be active in your Discord. Set up like play dates or like off stream stuff or movie nights or anime nights. Start up a YouTube channel. So maybe have an editor or just post up your VODs on there or something like that. As long as you're doing something, at least better than nothing, you're actively growing and actively expanding your reach. So that's what I would be doing. If you can also talk to people off stream, like your viewers or your community or other friends. Make sure you hang out with people. Don't just like hang out with people because you're streaming. Hang out with people off stream.
Yeah.
So that'd be my advice.
Gotcha.
TJ, how do you feel about viewer count? Do you still feel pressured about it?
I feel pressured about it more if I can see it. So I'm still at this new stage where I just want to know how I'm doing every single day. I've been a lot better about it recently, where I just try to hide my viewer count away from me so I don't see it. So on days where I'm like, oh, so many, like all these other people are streaming, and I take a quick glance over at my hand to just see my viewer count because I tend to hide it like my right hand, like
Uh-huh.
on the bottom of my fist, so I have to turn my hand in a really awkward way. One, just to be able to look at it, and two, these days, and I have like my song requests, my recent events on that hand, OBS open, a second chat window just in case the first one crashes on my left hand. I've got like a bunch of extra stuff there just to make sure that if something goes wrong, I can look at it in an instant. But for a while there, I was on the same hand as like my main chat, and so I was constantly staring at the numbers if I didn't have them hidden away from me. It's like, oh, my numbers are dropping. Like fewer and fewer people are watching me. It's like, oh, this is not making me feel very good. Like, I just feel like I failed as like an entertainer. Whenever I do feel pressured significantly if my viewer count is really low. So I'm just trying to make myself, not watch it, not care about it, and that really helps me out as well. I I remember like hearing Radiant on one of his streams mention that too, where it's like, hey, don't tell me my viewer count. I don't want to know about it. If it's not where I think it is or where I want it to be, I'm gonna feel depressed. And I was like, why do you feel that way? He's got hundreds of people watching him, And it's like, after streaming myself, it's something hard for people who don't stream to understand. But the moment you do stream, and you start getting higher numbers, and on days where your numbers aren't high, where you would like them to be, then it really can start throwing rocks at you, and like it really does hurt. So yeah, that's one thing I try to do is just like I do feel pressured if I look at it. If I don't look at it and it's in like the back of my mind or not my mind at all, then I don't care. That's sort of where I'm going now. I'm trying to go with the don't care route.
Well, what you can actually do is if you go to your dashboard, there's a setting. Maybe it's on the dash. It's somewhere in the settings. But you can actually turn off your viewer count, so you never see it.
Yeah, I usually the option that I do is I just click the viewer count button itself and it just turned it into a line. And then on top of that, I just bring my Steam VR, like the thing that just show you that your base stations and stuff are on your menu. I just drag that over like the uptime stuff and the viewer count.
Yeah.
That way, if I look at it, I'm like I have like 3 steps to go through before if I wanted to even look at it, and I have to like take my heads off just to move the Steam VR thing because I can't move it in OVR Toolkit.
Oh yeah.
So it makes it really, really hard and inconvenient, and I just never want to go through it. And it's awesome.
I use OVR drop still because I don't know, I'm a boomer. I have over a toolkit, but I use Stream Elements, not Stream Labs, and it just displays the chat. It never tells me what my viewer count is unless I really want it to. So I never know what my viewer count is. I just don't care. I mean, okay, I do care, but I don't want to worry about what the number actually is because, like you said,
during stream.
Yeah, like during streams and stuff because it does affect. I do understand what Radiant Soul's saying. Like, it does affect you on like on an emotional level because it's like, oh my god, I'm not getting enough viewers. So like, what ends up happening is like you either get desperate or you just end your stream. Like, oh, I'm losing viewers. I gotta end my stream right now. Like, if I keep going, it'll keep going lower. So like, it really affects you as a person.
I'm a victim of that. I have ended stream early because of bad viewer numbers, and it's just like I feel because I just felt terrible watching. Like I just can't entertain. I don't feel happy anymore. It's like, fuck it, end stream. That was just a bad day. We'll chalk it up to that and then move on. But whenever I had my viewer count, I can go all day long without question.
You just gotta have a good community. Honestly, it really depends on who you are. If you watch like Nags when he streams, he only gets a few hundred viewers, but his chat makes it look like he has like 2,000 viewers because they're constantly just talking nonstop, and his chat's going like shh when it's only 200 people. But you can watch someone with like 300 viewers, and their chat's like dead as hell, like it's just non-existent. So like it really depends on who you are, and I think it's always better to cement your community with a very engaging chat. There's some people that literally have 1,000 viewers and their chat's like slow. It's like, what? It's because no one's engaging. Like nobody cares. Like they're just like sitting there, I guess, watching and just not typing. It's better to have an engaging audience than having an audience that's just sitting there like, okay, what's this guy going to do now?
Like having resident sleeper.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. They've fallen asleep to your stream.
Yeah, that's what I definitely want to avoid with my own stream is make sure that I can be phony, like, constantly. Like I always check up on my viewers, like, hey, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? I say that all the time, just because it generally, other
Mhm.
people say like, it generally like, oh hey, I'm doing fine. It's like, oh hey, that's an extra chat message that I got that I wouldn't have gotten elsewise. And so it's like,
Yep.
it makes me feel good just having a chat that just flows, you know.
Mhm.
If it goes too fast, then I obviously can't read anything.
Mhm.
Like for me, for streaming, I don't ever really want to have like 80,000 people in my chat, just because I physically couldn't read anything. You can't read anything because anytime a message is posted, it's gone in an instant, you know. And this
Mhm.
is like, at that point, you just lose the connection that you build with the streamer, you know. I'm really close with everyone who shows up in my streams, just because I can say hi and like have a conversation with each one of them individually, so I don't have to worry about that. But if you're someone like Asmongold, who I've seen get like 80,000 viewers at sometimes playing World of Warcraft, it's just like the dude doesn't even look at chat anymore. He just ignores it because he physically has no ability to read it. And how do you moderate that if you're like 5 people in chat? How do you moderate 80,000 people if
Don't.
like 5 people? You don't. So a lot of those chats as well just become dens of toxicity and like Wild West out of control because you physically can't do anything to control them. It just loses all of the charm that Twitch has, you know, at those high viewer counts.
Mhm. I get you. Well, we're coming up to about just over an hour now. So what I like to do is give you the camera, and if you want to say anything, like plug yourself, anything you got going on, any projects, any upcoming streams, anything you want to shout out, you don't have to, but I always give an
Hmm.
opportunity for anyone I'm interviewing to shout themselves up, plug themselves. So if you got anything you want to discuss or
Hmm.
or tell people.
Yeah, I will say for anyone who's new to my channel or new to me, hasn't heard of me, you can catch me up on twitch.tv/TJ_Dash. I'll just say hi and chat because I got it open. Been watching it.
Mhm.
Where to leave? There it is. There you can just click me right there because I'll see my whole sort of link. You can just say hi to me. Come check me out if you like what you've heard so far. I like to be very entertaining. I'm very much an NA evening streamer. Um, Basically my goal is really just to get people to talk to. You know, that's the main thing I want from streaming.
Yeah.
Is just people to enjoy myself. My Discord. If you wanted to join my Discord community, you can just click my link, and I've got my Discord on my sort of panels below the stream.
Mhm.
I like to keep a very active group in there. There's only a couple hundred people, but it can be chaos sometimes. As our massive chaos in chat signal knows.
Mhm.
Yeah. We just recently hit like 1,300 followers, which in a couple of months is absolutely madness.
Mhm.
I'd say that's pretty crazy. I definitely want to hit like a horror game stream for like my 1,000 follower celebration, and I'm trying to get like different sort of milestone goals to celebrate other follower achievements going on and some more things. I just need to figure out how to plan them all out. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do that eventually. Yeah, that's basically about it. I don't use Twitter or any other social media besides like Discord because I've never been a fan of them. I've always thought
Oh,
them to be
okay.
the most I found like Facebook and Twitter personally to be extremely boring, and I've just never gotten around to even trying them out.
Damn.
Really, it's unfortunate, I know, but it's just how I am.
Hey, Twitter's a good time. You just gotta follow the good stuff, and you see some very nice art, very nice stuff on there. Just saying.
Very nice.
You gotta follow the
Mhm.
good people. You gotta follow the interesting people, and then you just laugh. Like it's just funny. Like the stuff you see, like Animal Crossing memes, whoever you follow, you just get the good stuff. So, everybody's Twitter's based upon who they are as an individual. So if you follow a lot of memes or follow a lot of VRChat people, you see a lot of good stuff. Like you'll see events and parties you'll never even know they existed until you actually have a Twitter and follow people. So, and it's a
Mhm.
good way to like outsource. Like I said, like if you don't have a Twitter, I feel like when you end your stream, you're kind of dead in the water until you start streaming again. You know. So I feel like if you have a
Mhm.
social media, like I can't tell you how many people have actually said to me, like, "Dude, oh, you're the guy who interviews people. I see you on Twitter." Like I've multiple 10 or 12 people have said that in the last like week or two. They didn't watch me. They just know me because of Twitter. So like there you go. I have 10 more people that know who I am simply because of a Twitter. So
I'm tempted to probably make one soon. Then, if I'm gonna make this anything more than like a hobby, you know.
I
Right now,
mean,
streaming is just a hobby for me more
yeah,
than anything.
to me it's a hobby too. It's just I feel like having Twitter and stuff is important. It's also for memories too. Like you can go to events or parties and like, take a picture and then post it on Twitter and people like it and they're like, oh snap, like it's simple as that. Or you make a poll or you're like, oh, I need help on something. Like I literally got a voice actress to do all my Twitch alerts simply because I made a tweet, and I had like 10 people like
Dang.
DM me and be like, yo, I want to be your voice actress. And I'm like, oh snap. And then I hired one. And now I have all my Twitch alerts are literally every time someone subs or donates or whatever, it's a voice actress speaking for my
Hell yeah.
character as if it's coming from my character's voice, from her body, I guess.
And that's one of those things I needed to do is customize my alerts better.
Yeah.
I'm just using default Stream Elements alerts right now that I found for like a default template and just fired it up. Trying to make my own eventually one of these days. I have a lot of things I need to do just to improve my overall stream
I'm
quality.
fucking coming.
True. TJ has a big network on Twitch though. He's seen everywhere. True, but I'm saying like if you don't have a Twitter or a Facebook or an Instagram, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, just get it, just do it. Like, almost every streamer and a YouTuber has Twitter for a reason. And you make it whatever you want it
It's
to.
incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Twitter, I will admit, easily is an incredibly powerful tool. Undeniably powerful.
Mm-hmm. Like for example, I have a YouTube, but I don't upload videos on it really regularly. I should. I'm shooting myself in the foot. I literally have a gold mine of all these interviews. I just don't edit them because I don't have time. Too busy with college and doing streaming. So I'm looking for an editor.
Yeah.
But YouTube is what a lot of people use to market
Thanks
their.
for the tokens. I mean bits.
Their streams, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm just getting alerts. It distracts me. But thanks so much for the bits. But yeah, like I
Not a
said,
problem.
it's a way to like advertise your stream. So like that's why like if you look at like VR Funny and Foxy and all the compilation channels, they really do help out a lot of streamers in the community because a lot of streamers don't have YouTube channels. So like the compilation channels are kind of like a substitute for that, and it does branch out and give people exposure to your channel. So.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we'll wrap it up here. So thank you again for coming by, TJ. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for coming by. And again, I'm your host, Alan Rebel. This is what I do almost every single day. I interview people. It's all my talk show run by myself. Late Night with Rebel. And yeah, thank you so much. Any final words you want to say?
Thank you guys for coming by. Thanks for everyone who came from my own Discord announcement because I dropped this in my Discord just because I was like, hey, I wanted to see if anyone from my group would come hang out, and apparently a lot of you guys did. So appreciate it. Appreciate Rebel the chance to come on hang out with you for the interview. It was quite a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and definitely like to do more of these in the future if possible.
Of course, if you're 100% down, if you want to do like a podcast is where I get a bunch of people on or another interview, you're always welcome to come back. So.
Heck yes.
Before you go, I'll take a picture. So, yeah, we'll take a selfie together. Let me stand up for this.
Sounds good.
Oh, I felt stepping on my wire. That'd be a good idea. Oh, please. And turn off the
I'm gonna
camera
switch
here.
to them.
Oh.
My model is unfortunately very short, but this
Oh,
is the
don't
model
worry
people are
about
gonna
that, because I
recognize
got
me
play
more than
space
anything.
mover. I can literally become short or tall or any size.
PlayStation Mover is a godsend.
Let me get this camera set up here. Disable it, re-enable it. Go boom, 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 boom. And whoops. Oh my, I'm the worst. I'm telling you right now. Getting an index, it just like it's so hard to grab things and do things with it. Anyway,
It is very rough.
you can come right, I guess like right here.
That'll work, right?